If you were born before 1960, you grew up in a world that was vastly different from today. No internet, no smartphones, just real conversations, handwritten letters, and memories that today's generation can hardly imagine. But those who lived it? Oh, they understand. They understand the beauty of a simpler life, the lessons that came with struggle, and the joy of things that can't be replicated in a digital world. Today, we're diving into 8 things only people born before 1960 will truly understand. Let's take a trip down memory lane, get ready to smile, reminisce, and maybe even shed a tear. And if any of these bring back memories, let us know in the comments below. Remember the magic of receiving a handwritten letter? The excitement of seeing familiar handwriting on an envelope, carefully opening it, and reading every word with appreciation. Back then, letters were more than just messages. They were treasures filled with emotions, effort, and thoughtfulness. Unlike today's emails and texts, letters carried weight, literally and figuratively. And let's not forget those love letters. Many of you might still have a special one tucked away in a box somewhere. Do you remember your first love letter? Tell us about it in the comments. Back in the day, respect wasn't an option, it was a way of life. Saying please and thank you, standing up when an elder entered the room, and showing courtesy were second nature. Boys tipped their hats, children addressed adults as sir and ma'am, and no one dared to talk back to their teacher. Respect wasn't just about words, it was about action, holding the door open for others, helping a neighbor without being asked, and writing thank you notes with Norm. Today, these gestures are rare, but those who grew up before 1960 understand their value. If you miss the days of good old-fashioned manners, give this video a thumbs up. No smartphones? No problem. Back then, life was rich with real experiences. Kids played outside until the streetlights came on. Families gathered around the radio for entertainment, and TV had only a few channels, but those shows were pure gold. We didn't scroll, we strolled. We didn't text, we talked. And we weren't bombarded with notifications every second. Life had a rhythm, and we appreciated the little things, the sound of a record playing, the smell of a fresh newspaper, and the joy of catching up in person rather than through a screen. Dinner time wasn't just about eating, it was about connecting. No distractions, no TV blaring in the background, just good food, and even better conversation. Families sat together, shared stories, and truly listened to one another. Home-cooked meals weren't just a treat, they were the norm. Who remembers the smell of fresh-baked bread filling the house or the taste of a sundae, roast cooked to perfection? Today, family dinners are a rarity, but for those born before 1960, they hold a special place in the heart. Nothing was handed to you on a silver platter. If you wanted something, you worked for it. Kids had paper routes, mowed lawns, and helped out in family businesses. Hard work built character, and earning your first paycheck was a proud moment, not just an expectation. Many of you remember a time when you had to save up for what you wanted, whether it was a new bicycle or your first car. That sense of accomplishment? Unmatched. If you learned the value of hard work early in life, drop a flexed biceps emoji in the comments. No need for expensive gadgets. Fun was everywhere. Rolling down a grassy hill, building a fort, or catching fireflies was pure joy. Movies at the drive-in were magical, and listening to a baseball game on the radio could keep you entertained for hours. Board games weren't just games, they were battlegrounds for friendly family rivalries. Monopoly marathons, Scrabble duels, and checkers championships, those were the good times. Today's entertainment is digital, but those who lived it know that simpler times were often the best times. Back then, neighbors were more than just people living next door, they were extended family. Communities were tight-knit, and everyone looked out for one another. If you needed sugar, you borrowed it from next door. If a kid misbehaved, the whole neighborhood knew about it. There was a sense of belonging and safety that's hard to find today. People trusted one another, doors were left unlocked, and friendships lasted a lifetime. If you miss the good old days of community spirit, type community in the comments. Perhaps the greatest lesson from those born before 1960 is this: happiness isn't in things, it's in moments. The joy of a summer breeze, the pride in a well-done job, the warmth of a handwritten note. These are the things that truly matter. Life wasn't perfect, but it was meaningful. And those who lived it wouldn't trade those memories for anything. Now it's your turn. What do you remember most fondly from the past? Drop your favorite memories in the comments below. We'd love to hear your stories. And if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who will appreciate it. Until next time, stay wise and stay wonderful.